Nepal is facing one of its deepest crises in decades, as deadly protests have shaken the country and triggered a sharp decline in tourism during what should have been its busiest season. The violent anti-corruption demonstrations, led largely by the Gen Z movement, erupted earlier this month and quickly spread across the capital, Kathmandu. What began as a push for reform turned into Nepal's deadliest protests in decades, leaving at least 72 people dead and more than 2,000 injured. The unrest also forced the resignation of former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, plunging the nation further into political uncertainty. The timing could not have been worse for Nepal's economy. September through December is considered the country's peak tourist season, with more than 1 million foreign visitors normally arriving each year to trek iconic routes like the Annapurna Circuit and to explore Kathmandu's bustling neighborhoods. Instead, business owners are now counting losses. In Thamel, the capital's main tourist hub, shops, pubs, and restaurants that had prepared for the season remain mostly empty. Tourist arrivals are down by around 30%, according to Nepal's tourism authority. Hotel owners, trekking organizers, and local business operators say cancellations have soared, with many visitors from India, China, the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, and Japan abandoning travel plans after seeing images of burning landmarks, including Nepal's parliament and the Hilton Hotel. Several governments have since issued travel advisories, warning citizens against non-essential visits. For many in Kathmandu, the damage is more than financial. Ramchandra Giri, a trekking specialist and restaurant owner, says 35% of his bookings have been canceled, while antique shop operator Renu Bania has seen 60% of her business wiped out, with her hotel fully booked for the month now standing empty. Tourism is vital to Nepal's economy, contributing nearly 8% of its $40 billion GDP. The sector employs hundreds of thousands of people and supports countless small businesses across the country. Officials fear that the ongoing unrest could do long-term damage to the industry's reputation, discouraging both tourists and investors at a critical moment.
Our family and our friends, they told us, come back home as early as possible, but we never had a problem of insecurity of anything.
Well, our flight got cancelled, so that was a worry because we're doing a tour, but we got booked straight back on. I think, yeah, just a bit nervous that everything would still go ahead, but everything seems to be going ahead, so it's been okay.
On the streets of Kathmandu, the scars of the protests are still visible. Smoke lingers in the air as authorities clear debris from burned buildings and torched vehicles. While some foreign visitors say they still feel safe, the sight of charred landmarks is a reminder of the scale of unrest that gripped the city. Nepal is now under the leadership of interim Prime Minister Sushila Karki, but questions about stability remain, with fresh elections scheduled for March 2026. For businesses and residents alike, the priority is restoring calm and rebuilding confidence before more damage is done to an already fragile tourism industry. Despite the turmoil, there are signs of resilience. On Sunday, parts of Kathmandu were busier than they had been in days, with a few foreign tourists returning to popular cultural centers. Many business owners remain hopeful that Nepal's reputation as a safe and welcoming destination will eventually be restored, even if recovery takes time. For now, Nepal's tourism sector faces one of its greatest challenges in decades, balancing recovery from political unrest while striving to maintain its place as one of the world's most sought-after travel destinations.
To look at the situation now, just before this incident and after this incident, in arrival, nearly 30% is down because 2 days were fully, the curfew was also imposed and airport was also shut down. But now everything is normal, so we are hoping that that arrival number will also pick up. Looking at the cancellation of visitors bookings, nearly 8 to 10% cancellations are there. But most of the visitors, they are inquiring about the situation of Nepal. A few administrative buildings, houses are damaged, which is a very unfortunate incident. I think the government budget need to be spent in rebuilding these structures. A few hotels are damaged, which might give a negative message to not only the visitors but the investors as well.
As Nepal clears the ashes of protest, its future now depends on whether it can rebuild trust, not just with its people, but with the world that once came to explore its mountains.